Hey, so we are at Cedar Point this morning. We just got here last night, and I'm pretty stoked. Welcome to Cedar Point, one of the largest and most historic theme parks in the world. This massive lakeside thrill center features 71 rides, 17 of which are roller coasters, and a laundry list of other attractions, including a lakeside beach, an accompanying outdoor water park, campgrounds and cabins, 2 marinas, and multiple hotels and resorts. Cedar Point calls itself America's roller coast, and with such a wide variety of coasters, it's easy to see why. We're absolutely crazy about roller coasters, so the plan was simple. Ride them all. Taking a look at the park map, we can see how the coasters are spread out across the park and distributed across the park's different themed areas. Because ride wait times can fluctuate greatly, we knew the best plan of attack was to hit the roller coasters with low wait times first and use Cedar Point's app to find out when the lines died down. We're using the Cedar Point app, which is excellent, and right now we're headed to Gatekeeper, which says it has a 5-minute wait time. It's usually pretty accurate, more like 15 probably, so we'll see. We're gonna get some more coasters, and we'll let you guys know how we liked them. Located at the front of the park, next to the beach in the lakeside midway section, Gatekeeper is what's known as a winged coaster. On traditional coasters, riders sit on top or directly below the track. You can see it in action here as the riders sit on the wings outside of the track, giving the sensation of flying. Couple this with Gatekeeper's 164-foot drop, giant smooth inversions, and the star of the ride, 2 near-miss elements as you slice through the front gates of the park. Alright, so we just got off Gatekeeper, that ride. Right behind me there. Really fun, really good ride. Not my favorite though, but it's super smooth, a lot of inversions, and it goes through the entrance to the park, which was sweet. Just rode the Wicked Twister right behind me. Located right next to Gatekeeper, also in the lakeside midway section of the park, is Wicked Twister. This coaster, known as an impulse coaster, was one of our favorites at the park. Riders climb into inverted cars, then are thrust at 50 miles per hour through the station and partway up the first spike. After the car loses speed, gravity takes over and riders fall down the spike backwards, getting an even faster launch as the train rolls back through the station. This process repeats itself twice more as riders climb higher up the ride's 2 large tracks. The final thrust pushes the train to a blistering 72 miles per hour and a height of around 200 feet before riders make the final drop and break their way back into the station. We just rode the corkscrew right behind me. Worst ride at Cedar Point so far, so it sucked. Really uncomfortable, really short. Corkscrew is one of the park's most iconic coasters. Located in the center of the park in the main midway section, the steel looping coaster was one of the first of its kind. Upon its debut in 1976, it was the first roller coaster in the world to feature 3 inversions. The highlight of this coaster is undoubtedly its twin corkscrews that spiral riders directly over the midway, giving both riders and guests below a truly unique view. While all of this is nice, in 2018 the dated coaster shows its age with a very rough ride and plenty of headbanging on its over-the-shoulder restraints. While we didn't enjoy the corkscrew nearly as much as some of the other coasters at Cedar Point, the history and location of this ride make it one worth checking out. full point-of-view ride on Top Thrill Dragster, the tallest, fastest, and dare we say, most extreme ride at the park. Located directly across from Corkscrew in the main midway section of the park, this is only one of 2 coasters in the world to be worthy of the title Stratocoaster, having a drop of 400 feet or more. This coaster is seriously fast, launching riders from 0 to 120 miles per hour in under 4 seconds, before sending them up a 420-foot tall tower and twisting them back down again. At the top, riders get to experience what we think is the park's best view, an unobstructed look at the entire park from the very center. Alright, so we just finished Top Thrill Dragster, right behind me. It was awesome, but I still like Maverick the best. Maverick's still the best one, so keep going. Located at the front of the park, directly across from Kitty Kingdom, is Raptor, Cedar Point's incredible suspended steel roller coaster. While the numbers aren't quite as impressive as some of the other record-breaking rides at the park, Raptor is consistently a fan favorite at Cedar Point and one of the top 50 best steel roller coasters in the world. Alright, we're at Raptor right now. Behind us there, about to set off. We got Big Ian. We'll let you guys know how it was after we ride it. Aiming to simulate the flight of a Raptor, riders sit in cars suspended directly below the track with their feet hanging. They're then sent off to Raptor's 137-foot lift hill. At the top, riders are treated to a beautiful view of the Midway and Lake Erie beyond. With 6 inversions, a 100-foot vertical loop, 0G and Cobra rolls, along with a buttery smooth track, this roller coaster is just plain fun. Alright, so we just got off the Raptor. It was amazing. Really great ride. We're just walking down the queue now to get off, but it was a really, really great ride. A lot of intermingling with the other sections of the track and the park. A lot of great inversions. Just a really smooth, nice ride. Located farther back in the park, in the Millennium Midway, is Cedar Point's Rougarou, a steel, floorless looping coaster. We're just getting off Rougarou behind us here. This floorless steel roller coaster features great views of the main midway at the top of its first lift hill, before releasing riders down 137 feet directly into a huge 119-foot vertical loop. It was okay. There's a lot of inversions.
Quit lying, it was.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I'd probably give the coaster about a 4 out of 10. There was just something about it that wasn't that fun. In the center of the park, near the main midway, is Val Raven, Cedar Point's dive coaster. We're waiting for Val Raven right now. It's unfortunately down, but should be back up in a few minutes. We're right here. Val Raven holds its riders at the top of its first and tallest drop for a few moments before releasing them down a 214-foot free fall, reaching speeds of up to 75 miles per hour before going into a 165-foot Emmelman loop and then into the rest of the stomach-turning course. This roller coaster is definitely a ride you'll want to hit while at the park, especially since it's one of only 14 dive coasters in the world. Got off of Val Raven. We're heading to the gift shop now. It was pretty good. Honestly though, Alright, so we're waiting for Magnum XL. Located near the back of the park, at the resort entrance, Magnum XL 200 has to be one of the best roller coasters in the park. Standing at 205 feet tall and cutting right through Cedar Point's water park, Magnum is a beast of a roller coaster and one seriously fun ride. When it opened to the public in 1989, it was the first roller coaster in the world to reach a height of 200 feet or more and has inspired many similar roller coasters throughout the globe since its opening. this Red Giant is still consistently rated one of the top steel coasters in the world by coaster enthusiasts and theme park reviewers alike. After we took one ride, it was easy to see why. Just got off Magnum XL 200 for the second time. Really, really fun. The carts just have a simple lap restraint and a belt, and they're pretty open, so I kind of forgot how tall it is. Located in the Gemini Midway, across from Gemini, Pipe Scream is a ride you may miss if you're busy trying to hit all the skyscraping coasters in the park, but is quite a unique thrill ride that Cedar Point formerly considers to be a roller coaster. This was one of the most intense and forceful rides of the park, and is definitely not a recommendation for those with a hair trigger stomach. Getting off Pipe Scream. It's pretty fun. A lot more fun than I expected, but I feel a little nauseous. So we're getting in line for Gemini right now. Located in the Gemini Midway section of the park, near the resort entrance, this hybrid racing coaster features racing trains on a wooden structure with steel track. So we're in the Gemini station right now. There's two separate trains. You can go on blue or red, and they race. Pretty cool. Together, they combine to form one of the most consistently fun rides of the park. Make sure to catch this roller coaster when both trains are running in race mode and pick a side. The wood supports give this roller coaster a classic feel, and the steel track allows for a much smoother ride experience. While it might not look like much from the dated station to its standard wooden roller coaster appearance, don't be fooled. This ride provides all the thrills of a great roller coaster with a 118-foot drop, 60-mile-per-hour speeds, and a nice long ride time clocking in at 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Just walking by Gemini here. Forgot to review it when we got off it yesterday, but it was a really fun coaster. And so we're walking up to Cedar Creek Mine Ride right now. Cedar Creek Mine Ride is a classic runaway mine train ride located in the Frontier Town section of the park. This is the second oldest roller coaster at the park, and it definitely shows its age. The ride takes passengers in mine train cars on a steel track roller coaster. With a few small drops and a helix at the end, this is a pretty basic ride for anyone familiar with roller coasters. The mining theming isn't even very well done, so we can't even say this ride is scenic. The ride is one for people looking for less intense and more classic feels to their coasters. Now off Cedar Creek Mine Ride. Worst ride, really uncomfortable. More uncomfortable than the corkscrew. Really jerky, not comfortable. I can't say that enough. It just was extremely uncomfortable and not thrilling in any way. So I just got off of Snake River Falls probably about 10 minutes ago because you truly do get soaking wet. It's this log flume ride right over here. They have a sign right up the front that says, make sure you leave your belongings with someone or in the locker. Completely true. And they do have these dryers that are kind of behind me here where you kind of stand in them. You can see people in there trying to dry off. We just did 2 sessions. They were $5 a session for 3 minutes, and not that dry, but better than going back to our campsite, I guess. You can kind of see right behind me, there's a little goat standing on the barrels. Right behind me is the play yard. That's what I was in before. And you basically get to roam around with little animals that are loose and pet them. They come right up next to you. Luckily all of them are well tempered, but you can see people in there. Got a bunch of goats in there. Pick them up, touch them, but you can't feed them. Feeding, that's over there. So, this is happening. They're just kind of getting it done, I guess. We really, really had a good time here. It's a nice break from the coasters. We're about to get on this one here. Maverick again. Should be a blast. Should be a really good time. Oh, maybe we're not getting on Maverick? Residing in the Frontier Town section of the park is Maverick, a Western-themed launch roller coaster that is sure to satisfy anyone looking for an intense ride. With plenty of twists and turns through the canyons and landscapes surrounding the coaster, and a laundry list of other roller coaster elements, this ride is one you won't soon forget. Maverick features 2 different launches and a beyond vertical first drop at 95 degrees, leading riders on a run through Maverick's incredible course, curving and swerving through canyons, up airtime hills, and diving through a corkscrew. The second launch brings riders to a top speed of 70 miles per hour and drops them down 100 feet over a lake in the middle of Frontier Town, while adding splash and shot effects in the water as you fly by to simulate a gunfight. It's all so much fun you won't even realize it's over until you roll through the final corkscrew and hit the station brakes. We just got off our second ride on Maverick. It was fantastic again, and we're gonna head over to Millennium Force, get on that. Oh, we're about to get on this one behind me, Millennium Force. Located near Frontier Town in the aptly named Millennium Midway, this roller coaster is another industry trend-setting ride that has inspired other roller coasters like it since being the first roller coaster in the world to reach a height of 300 feet or more. Millennium Force, after almost 20 years, still remains one of the tallest and fastest roller coasters in the world. With a 300-foot drop and speeds of up to 93 miles per hour, Millennium Force takes its riders on a twisted course through trees, tunnels, and over 6,500 feet of track. At night, the ride only intensifies. Now we are in the queue line for Millennium Force. And... oh, okay. A brilliant light display and incredible sunset views are just a few of the benefits to riding this roller coaster at night. We recommend riding in the front row, just watch for bugs. Riding it at night, worth it, awesome, front seat. At night, got hit by a few bugs, you can kind of see, maybe. And here, right there, but amazing. There is a special food truck event going on. Food trucks from Michigan and Ohio here. They're having a food truck competition, I guess. But we win, really, the competition, because we're gonna go taste their food. So, check it out. Stayed at the place right behind me, chicken and waffles. It's really good, they're from Detroit. Like I said, super delicious. Right now we're in the line for Iron Dragon, and we're gonna go on Iron Dragon with VR headsets. We're not quite sure what it is, because it just kind of says that it's a VR adventure, but the Iron Dragon itself is not that interesting in my opinion, so hopefully the VR helps spice it up. Located in the center of the park, near the Millennium Midway, is Iron Dragon, a steel suspended roller coaster. Riders sit inside cars suspended from a track above that sway from side to side during the course. This might be the most tame of all roller coasters at Cedar Point, giving what we thought was a smooth scenic ride, featuring 2 lift hills and a great ending section flying over a lake in the middle of the Midway. Getting off the Iron Dragon with VR. Way better, way better. One of the better rides at the park with VR. It kind of feels like a cheap cop-out at first when you hear about it, but it was really cool. Right behind me there, and it's super lined up, but we get early admission and we have our fast passes today. 8:34 right now. Just got into the park and there's a line, I guess. Just tried to go get lockers right next to Magnum XL 200 and they wouldn't let us get them because they're cleaning them out still. It's bullshit. We couldn't get a locker, but we're waiting around with everyone else. You can't bring anything on Steel Vengeance, including your cell phone. Nothing. So you need a locker. That's the bummer, because we're going to have to elbow all these people out of the way now to get lockers, because they all have bags too, and they're all going to ride Steel Vengeance. It's about 8:43, and we're still waiting, and there's a big, big crowd behind us now. Pretty good. I'm right at the front of the line. And we're pretty much going to, just burst through and go to Steel Vengeance. Yeah, so people are literally running down now. People, we were standing at the gates, we thought they were gonna roll them back, but they literally played the national anthem, made us face the front of the park where the flag is, even though we couldn't see the flag, and then as soon as the anthem was done, everyone tore through the gates. I was not expecting that. And now we're going to Steel Vengeance. Alright, the reason I'm out of breath is because I'm at Steel Vengeance right now. And we gotta get a locker before we ride, so. But they know that, so there's a big bank of lockers here. We got a locker. Located in the rear of the park, in the Frontier Town section, is Steel Vengeance. This wooden and steel hybrid coaster combines wooden supports with thick twisted steel tracks for an unbelievably smooth and thrilling ride. Most people agree this is one of the best, if not the best, roller coaster currently running in the world today. With a 200-foot drop, 4 inversions, and over 24 seconds of airtime, this is a crazy fun coaster. We even overheard more than a few fellow riders exclaim their love for the ride loudly after riding. This is one of the few rides at Cedar Point you have to ride if you're a thrill seeker. Just got off of Steel Vengeance. It's behind us there for the second time. Awesome. Or no, that was the third time we rode it. Oh my god. Steel Vengeance, we all agree, best roller coaster ever. Best roller coaster any of us have ever been on. Fantastic. This is a really cool area. They have an arcade down in the middle of the midway. And as you can see here, there's tons and tons of old arcade games. Right now we're going through like the ticketed section where you can win tickets and then probably cash them in for prizes. But really I'm trying to find the bathroom at the front. Oh, this one's cool. Like behind me there's a Space Invaders one. It's pretty cool. Oh, there's the prize wall. There it is. Okay, gonna get on this one behind me here. The Blue Streak. Opened in 1964 and located in the front of the park near the main midway is Blue Streak, Cedar Point's oldest operating roller coaster. This classic wooden coaster features a 72-foot drop, a 40-mile-per-hour top speed, and plenty of airtime. For some, this may be a rough old coaster, but for many, this wooden time machine is a must-ride. Just got off of Blue Streak. Both Jenna and I agree. It might be historic, but it's also historically bad for 2018. We're just finding it hard to appreciate the history when it's so uncomfortable and unthrilling. Getting on the train ride here in Cedar Point. We're gonna get off somewhere else, but should be fun. We've now officially gone on all the coasters. Great day. That will conclude our trip to Cedar Point. It's the end of day 3, and we're gonna head home now. Right now we're in Camp Snoopy, just using the facilities, getting refreshed. We had a blast. We hope you guys did too. We'll see you on the next one.
Tina, you fat lard, come get some dinner.